Hello, Smitty here with Habitual Hot Rods and Hobbies. You know, I kind of told you we needed to talk about Bump and Run. Um, I got a little bit of time here before I got some stuff going on today. Just came down to the shop to bring some parts down for the Evil Pumpkin. But I did it started back, I think, in like 2010. I built a Bump and Run car. It was kind of a new thing that was going on. It's kind of unique here to eastern Montana. And yeah, I was just kind of had fun with it. And as we're heading here, but I jumped right into the mod class. Uh, Me and my father built my car probably over the course of a year or so. Spare time, a lot of weekends, holidays, all that stuff. But you have to shut you down, turn you around here. But this is what we ended up building. For those of you that don't know about Bump and Run, I've got some videos here on my channel of Bump and Run action. It's kind of like Dukes of Hazzard. There's little short courses that they have here around eastern Montana, central Montana. And you basically, I think in the beginning it was set up for people that were getting kind of tired of wrecking their derby cars. You'd get an old derby car, you would put a cage and stuff in it, make it kind of safe and legal to drive around, and then you'd race it, go out and have some fun with it. And that's what we did, but it evolves like anything else. People got faster and faster. They made a modified class. And there was a guy named CJ Yoakum. If you see him in my 4th of July thing, you'll see him over there. He does a lot of, well, he was kind of the originator of it. And he started doing a lot of the bump and run stuff a long time ago. And he was the man to beat, man. If you could catch CJ Yoakum, you were really doing something. And there's still guys that are having trouble doing it. But he kind of got out of it, and my boss and his son are into it. I did it from, like I said, I think it was about 2010 to 2013, 14. I think I got out of it, and then I'd run a couple races here and there. But modified just got to where it was too expensive, I guess. I mean, this is a fun hobby, and I like it. But as you know, I've got a lot of other cars and things that I'm trying to build. So, it's, but these things are they're kind of hard to build. Um, you have to put a lot of time into your cage and your suspension, and then people beat on you. As you can tell, I've got some pretty good whack-a-moles from people running into me. But as we progressed, we got faster and faster and started doing more and more stuff. You can see here I've got a King Shock. I got remote reservoirs, on top of it. Um, you do things to try to make it do a little better, but I didn't want to go into limited class because I didn't want to go slower all that much. I mean, I'd already been a modified for like 6-7 years, and it's kind of hard to go backwards. The class in modified was it's getting, like I said, you've got to have some pretty tall bucks, get up pretty early in the morning to beat some of them guys now. But lately they've introduced a class called the BMG series, which comes out of, I believe, Lewistown. Yeah, it's a BMG class is what I would probably get into now. It's a new class that just started. I can run 2 front shocks, which I do have, but I wouldn't be able to run these King shocks. I'd just have to get like a 2.5-inch smooth body shock or something that's not valveable, no piggyback. It's a cast iron kind of class, so my motor would have to either kind of be redone, or, I mean, because of course I'm running a I think I'm running an aluminum Edelbrock air gap intake. It's got a great big old Holley 850 on it. This motor I would probably take out. This has been an awesome engine. It's one of the first engines I was ever around. First engine I ever built. This is the first engine that's been in a drag car that I've had on the drag strip. It's the first engine that I had in Bump and Run where I won my trophies. I mean, it's just been with us. I think we accumulated this back in the 80s, a long time ago. I mean, it's got headers and everything on, but being that it's a cast iron series, cast in, cast out is kind of what they call it. So I would have to, put a cast iron intake on it, cast iron exhaust manifolds, set it up. I mean, you're supposed to run pretty well stock stuff, but then the late 60s, early 70s, they made some pretty good performance stuff in the stock small block Chevy. So, but I don't know. I think that would be a category where I could get back in it, maybe have some fun and not really break the bank. And my car is kind of already set up for it, these water tanks in the back, I kind of use those. We pump fresh cold water into the engine, and then I run kind of a lower pressure radiator cap. So when it pressurizes it up to a certain amount, it goes through the overflow, and then I usually use it to put stuff inside my radiator. I got that little honeycomb stuff and everything, and then this kind of keeps the mud off. But yeah, it's just kind of a fun little sport, and it's local, so I kind of like to support it again. But yeah, I'm thinking about taking this motor out and doing some other stuff with it. So I would probably almost build a motor just for this class. Uh, Something that I can kind of, I wouldn't really say take advantage of the rules, but um, there's guys out there running some pretty nice stuff already in this class, and I imagine it's going to get to where it's going to be like any of the other classes. You know how racing goes. If you're not innovating and cheating, you're not winning. That's how that kind of stuff has always been in bump and runs. So uh, for me, I think I have this is a 400 block that we've had that was rebuilt, but it broke a piston. I think my dad was towing with it, and it got, I think he might have had a little too much timing in it, or it ran lean a little bit, and it broke a piston ring. So there's a tiny little scratch on it, but I think I could clean it up. And then I was thinking about running these heads off of it onto that block. Probably just get me a claimer bottom end, flat top pistons, just a good stock bottom end that would be balanced, that would live, and put me about as big a cam as I can from a manufacturer, maybe like a Z28 to 3030 cam or something. You need it to finish the races before you can win. So, I mean, durability is kind of an issue. You need to be fast, consistent, and reliable. So, and it doesn't hurt to have a little luck. But I think between kind of this engine and this engine, I could build that combo. I could kind of put me together something pretty awesome. But it's just kind of thinking about thoughts of it. It's been plaguing me a little while. Just kind of curious what, I guess, maybe people's thoughts of it were. If it'd be something people would be interested. Yeah, be honest, I don't care if you're interested or not. I am. So this is the old man's 383 sitting, or 327 sitting in there. I don't know what we're ever going to get that into. He's been kind of slacking on the hot rod building stuff here lately. That front Willys Jeepster grill you see there actually has a whole other car that goes with it that's in another location. Convertible 1948 Jeepster. In fact, the frame for that 48 Jeepster is right there. It's the thing I'm always bitching about because it's sitting here taking up room. But he started putting a triangulated airbag suspension in the back. You know, this was kind of a nice, just little convertible with a little 4-cylinder and stuff. But you know how us hot rodders are. You got it kind of mocked up to put a 350 in there, and he's wanting to redo the rear end. He wants it to go fast, but I don't know whether or not he's. I kind of was asking about it the other day, and you know, he's retired and on a fixed income, and I think he's kind of getting to where less is more, kind of in this stage of his life here. So I don't know if this is something he's also going to try to sell. It'd be a shame. I think it's probably wouldn't bring much because of the shape that it's in now. But the body's all sitting at another location. We were trying to put it on a Chevelle frame years and years and years ago, but you know, being a convertible, they really kind of like see all that X bracing and stuff. They like kind of having all that, or else they don't get none of their structure from the body because of a convertible. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just running around this morning ranting and raving. I've got ideas. I've got plans, and the hell's up with my phone? Oh, sitting up here also is a Mark V big block Chevy standard bore, 4-bolt main. I was saying about building a pretty stout motor out of that, and I have a drag car that you might see down the road here. I can't keep it a secret till I get it out to run it. But we got a complete kind of one of those sitting there. Thinking about dropping it off at the machine shop and running it. Over here by my Camaro, which that project there hopefully is going to start after this one, I guess. For a little teaser, since we're just kind of playing around here today and kicking out thoughts. Yeah, this is my beloved 1969 Camaro. Drove it in high school. Hasn't been on the road forever. It's been sitting inside. When I was about 25, I tore it all apart. It was a complete kind of car. It needed a paint job and some stuff done to it, but it kind of wish I wouldn't have tore it apart now. Now it's been tore it apart when I was 25. You know how it is. You get married, you have kids, work gets involved. You know, I've started racing. I built bump and run cars. I've been building this one after I tore it this far down. Just seems like it was always just. It's hard to get it jump started. You know what I mean? Um, but I've been accumulating parts and pieces for this. I think I got a good start on it now. I've always kind of wanted to have it professionally restored and painted. I've gotten to the point where, you know, I actually kind of borrowed money and wanted to get this thing springed up and going. And I've been to about 3 different states. I've been to a lot of shops, but I've never really ran into anybody that's excited or would like to kind of do the project. It's, oh, well, if it's going into my shop, it's getting all new quarters and roof and panels and firewall. And I mean, I'd like to keep it as original as I can. It's like, can I get somebody to just work with me? Oh, no, if it's coming in here, we're just doing it all. And it's like everybody wants $200,000 to restore this car, which is really just straight nice and pretty good the way it is. I mean, uh, you know, I want to have clean sheet metal on it. I don't want rust, holes, a bunch, but I also don't want to cut the car up if I don't have to. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. A lot of them are like, well, we'll see what you got. But I know how it is. They always get, you know, they'll make a mountain out of a molehill, I feel like. And I've always kind of wanted to get into painting auto body myself. And, you know, it might not turn out perfect, but I've decided to kind of probably take on this whole restoration project myself. Uh, Everything from painting it to, you know, putting the motor in it. I mean, I think I'm just going to put it together myself. That way I can say I did it myself. It'll be done my way. Um, I think it'll be cheaper, and I can put the love and the attention it needs, and it ain't gonna just get, you know, I kind of wanted it close by so I could kind of monitor the car and the progress. I didn't want to really have the car leave my hands for 4 years, be $50,000 into it, and go to pick it up, and they ain't got quarter panels on it. They've cut them off. They've cut the floor of the trunk out, and I mean, it does need stuff, you know. The guy that originally had it before me that was hot rodding it, I'll get this tire out of the way. He was making room for something, and you know, he kind of banged up in the firewall here a little bit. It's got, you know, it's been kind of cut out and patched in, and you ain't gonna be able to see that. But and in high school, I backed up and kind of gave the, you know, it's right about where the fender's at, or the rear bumper came in, and it gave me a little smunchy there. But I don't know that that necessitates a whole quarter panel, you know. Otherwise, you know, the car's straight. It's dusty, it's dirty, it needs some love, but I think I can, you know, the money I borrowed, I ended up actually kind of buying this, and I bought a lot of other parts for this. And so now I can get two cars out of it, hopefully, for just doing this one. I got a bunch of stuff there. I mean, I've got the whole front clips pretty much ready to go. Uh, let's see if we can find it here. You're going to be able to see it really well, but I sandblasted the original front clip all down. I was getting ready to paint it and stuff, but it's going to be hard to get it all in frame, but that is a complete brand new front stub for it. So, yep, all brand new. I'm going to paint that all up. So I don't think the original, I don't think what they send it with is very good. I might have to check that out and see. But yeah, I've got some Eastwood ceramic, you know, I don't know what they call it, like undercoating or chassis paint, I guess. But yeah, so that's brand new, and that can go on there. And it'll be sitting under this. This is the front clip of it. I took it off all in one piece. I mean, the radiator support's still in it. The horns are still in it. The inner fender well panels are still in it. You know, the hood mounts, everything's still together in one piece. So, yeah, between that and this, and I've got motors for it. It's a different story. In that crate over there is kind of a special surprise that I'm going to save for later, but there's something pretty awesome sitting in there. Ain't really for sure how I'm going to quite go about the build with the Camaro, but that will kind of decide the fate of what's over in that crate. But yeah, I've got as you can kind of see back here in the back of my car, I've got tubular A-arms. I've got a whole QA1 front suspension package for the subframe over there. You know, it was a disc brake front car, rear car. I took the rear end out of it and put it in my Nova, so I'll have to buy a rear end. And yeah, I mean, it's all going to have to be sanded down. But the floors are all in really good shape. There's no holes or anything anywhere. I'm thinking about even maybe just leaving this headliner alone. And, you know, the dash pad is kind of lifted on it, but it's not really bad shape. But here's the thing. You know, I have probably built that car in my mind 50 times easy. That car has been something that I've looked forward to my whole life, and I think it would almost be sad if I completed it in a way, if that makes any sense. Because I just dream about that car, the different ways I can build it, the different motors I can put in it, what transmission, what rear end. Do I want to make it a, you know, I've been everywhere from making it an 80s, like almost like a gas or a real, you know, 80s correct, jack it up, huge Kragers, put something with a tunnel ram sticking out of it, 4-speed, you know, kind of 80s old school, kind of the cars that you seen driving around on Friday nights, you know, and I was 6 years old. They kind of wanted me to start doing this crazy shit, you know. Then there's the fact that it's just kind of a nice old car, you know. Like I said, I'm going to try not to cut it all up, do a bunch of stuff to it. I'd like to keep some of the panels, you know, as original as I can. And it was just a base model car. I've done some research on the VIN and stuff. It's nothing, you know, it was a V8 4-speed Camaro, you know. So it's not a super rare car that I know of, although, I mean, Copo cars and stuff, I think that's kind of how they were VIN'd out too. I mean, you probably had a big block in it, you know, or whatever. But so originally it was Cortez Silver. And it kind of gets me to thinking that bump and run car that I showed you out there, when we got that motor years and years ago, you know, I've looked it up, and it is a numbers matching block for this car. It's all period correct. It's got the 461 camel humps on it. It's been bored 60 over now, so you know it ain't gonna be rebuilt a whole lot. But I mean, we originally bought that car or motor and was souping up a '69 Z28 Camaro back when I was a kid. My sister and my dad were building one, and that's kind of why they ended up getting that motor. But yeah, it's a. I got a couple cars that motor is actually numbers matching for. It's got 461, like I said, double hump heads in it. And okay, so then do I paint it all? Maybe I put it back to original. You know, Cortez Silver. I was thinking about putting a 6-speed in it. Really low rear end gears, like 488 gears, so that, you know, with the 6-speed, you can get a 6-speed with a half, you know, percent, 0.50 double overdrive in 6 gears. So, I mean, I could put 488s in that thing and still cruise down the road like I got 244s and, you know, a good 450 or 500 horsepower 350 that's kind of radical with that much gear would be a blast on the street, you know. Just put some nice looking rallies on it, paint it all silver, take the car back to 1969, maybe kind of like how she could have been when she came off the assembly line, you know, with the Smitty touch. And it's been my black hot rod though, all through high school. Wanted it mean. I wanted it bad, you know. I wanted to be the fastest kid at high school with it. Me and another kid with a 68 Camaro. He was a big block guy. I was kind of a small block guy. I like them both now. I've realized over my years the benefits of having a big block. I also have a nice 500 horsepower big block that could be a potential candidate for this, and I could leave it all black and kind of make my own Copo recreation. You know, maybe make it black, put the Steelies on it. You know, understated. You know, maybe put a 4-speed in it, and then hide it with a Gear Vendors overdrive or something. That way I still got overdrive. And with today's technology, this 500 horsepower big block I got, I mean, it'd run on 87 pump gas, mild camshaft, all iron head, you know, painted all orange, put the stickers on, make it look nice. But I mean, the thing would be, it's really just, I mean, it'd be a nice running just big block Camaro. Very good option, you know. And then there's part of me that wants to make a street freak out of it, you know. I ain't got a whole lot of money into the car since I've had it for so long. Like I said, huge Kragers. I've got I was supposed to come out with it. I got a 700 horsepower big block sitting in the crate back there. It's a 540 Blueprint motor. I kind of bought it to put into this. But 700 horsepower is, you know, I got it kind of on a deal. It was, I couldn't build one for that much kind of deal, kind of like, you know, the 396 in here. By the time you buy a block, I mean, these are brand new blocks Blueprint has. And it's all forged everything. I mean, the cranks are forged, the rods are forged, the pistons are forged. They put good ring packs in them. They've got hydraulic roller cams in them that are kind of expensive. You know, this thing's got 220 degree or 220 cc heads on the top of it. It's got a 208 intake, 160 valves in it. Probably flows pretty good. You know, I mean, by the time you take all that and you try to build it yourself, and then I get a warranty with this. I screw something up on my own motors I build. You know, machine shop's going to say you did something wrong. I did everything right. It's your responsibility to check it out. You must have done something wrong. I've been pretty fortunate. I have blown up a couple of hot rod motors I've done. That race motor in that bump and run car has seen 7,000 for season after season. I've refreshened it and put bearings and stuff in it once. Different rod bolts every once in a while, and I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to that motor is I'm going to blow it up. That's why I would like to replace it with something else that's not quite so sentimental, you know. But yeah, man, I love orange cars. This is orange. You don't know, but I got a 2010 orange Camaro, you know, the Inferno orange. I've got one of those. So I thought about making this black with like Hugger orange stripes. I've never really seen that color combination before. I could run any engine combo with that I want to, and transmission combo, whatever. But and then that would kind of be a sister to my you know, my 2010 Camaro that's Inferno orange with the black stripes. I've got this car that's orange, but that's like, maybe is that too much orange? I don't know. I can do this shit forever, but I gotta go, man. Son's gonna be playing football, so this is just stuff I sit around and think about day after day. I mean, it's not all, you know, a lot of times I'm trucking, I'm sitting waiting for load, you know, to get unloaded or to load up. This kind of stuff I'm thinking about. I'm playing this over and over in my head. And like I said, it's been probably about 23 years since I've been working on it. And I've been thinking about it almost every day. And I still don't really have it pegged down. Still don't really have you know, definitive, this is what I'm going to do with this car. And like I said, when I do get it, and if it ever gets done, I'm going to be kind of sad, but that's what other projects are for. But, well, like I said, here at Habitual Hot Rods and Hobbies, it's this is one place And it's one thing in my life where it's okay to be addicted. I love it. You stay addicted as well. We'll catch you on the next one.